G2 is on the way. We'll begin the post-match press conference momentarily.
Hello, 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 hello. All right. Hey guys, welcome to the live streaming of the post-match press conferences featuring T1 and G2 Esports in the grand finals of Masters Bangkok 2025. This is Pedro Romero. I normally post the recordings of these press conferences immediately after they are finished. I don't do live streaming and stuff. But for the past few days, I've decided to now do live streaming and also add on top of this, put the posting of the usual videos, daily videos for the press conferences. So, um, today's going to be the same thing as it was in those prior days. I'll be live streaming the press conferences, and then I will be posting them promptly in the channel so that the rest of the world can see. So I'm glad of you guys for joining me for this final live stream of Masters Bangkok. Of course, T1 have come out on top of the competition as the winners, taking down G2 in the grand finals 3-2. There's plenty of twists and turns along the way, just trying to find out which one of them was going to be the very best in the world for the first third, I would say, of the 2025 VCT season. And at the very end of the day, it was T1. They were able to outlast G2 in that overtime period for in that final map, and they're on top of the world. They are now champions of the world after winning Masters Bangkok, and so as a result of that, they will be the second team that will be stepping into the main stage right here, as you see on the screen, to do their press conferences and also simultaneously, well, not really simultaneously, but simultaneously in the sense of like what this means for how this day will transpire. G2 will be the first team to step onto the stage and answer questions from the media in the press conference. So we're still waiting word as to exactly how long it will take um for G2 to step on to the stage. Until once an update does arise, I will let you guys know as soon as I can. So we're just waiting for G2 to make their way to the stage, and yep, I'll keep you guys posted. G2 are stepping onto the main stage. G2 are stepping on. We will start the press conference very shortly. So stay tuned.
Good evening. We are joined by G2. We'll begin the questions with Brandon from Esports. We'll begin the press conference with Brandon from esports.gg.
Thank you very much. Thanks for joining us, guys. I know it can be tough to, you know, talk to the press after, a loss like that, but this will just go to Valen. It's been 551 days now since they announced the guard would not enter the VCT. Since then, you guys put pieces together of the team, made grand finals, won regionals. You're here now, obviously coming off of a close, heartbreaking loss. I would just like to get your thoughts on maybe what you think the silver lining might be going forward, with two tournaments still ahead in this, year, and just kind of how you're feeling about what's to look forward to.
Silver lining for me, I think that was some of the best resilience I've ever seen out of my team, honestly. And we played really well, but it wasn't enough. And I told them earlier, like, life of a competitor is the hardest thing ever, man. Like, you go through the lowest lows, and you also reach the highest highs with the team you have. And you know, there's no life without losses in everything you do. So, I told them, like, what's a life of only winning? We never wanted that. And so silver lining, I think, there's still more tournaments. We got experience here, and this will only motivate us to get better. But I wish I could, like, show them how much they mean to me, my team, because I wouldn't want it any other way. Like, all the hard shit we've been through, man. Like, you guys are so good at this game. You guys, like, make life every day so fun. It's all right, we lost. Like, I'm already coming to terms with it, because fuck it, bro. We're gonna win the next one 100%. And yeah, sorry, I'm rambling a lot, but it's tough, but it happens, We'll win the next one.
Thank you. We'll take the next question from Miguel.
Thank you. First of all, well, I'm sorry, real sorry about the result today, guys. I have a couple of questions, if you may. The first one would be open. At the end of the split map and at some rounds on Pearl, where the game was so close and it was like a round away, how much do you think you went into overdrive, like wanting the result too much that sometimes it just fell out of grasp?
I think we were honestly pretty level-headed. Like, even in the moment, we knew our win conditions. We understood the how to play the rounds out. It's hard to say because everyone's so fresh off the loss, but I'm pretty confident my team was. We were just trying to. I mean, we want to close it, but I don't think it got to our head. We were so locked in. We were so focused that I think we were just in flow state. But yeah, it just they won. Like, they got the last couple rounds, whatever. But I think we played fine on it.
Okay, thank you. And my
Thank you. We'll limit to one question per member of the media. We'll take the final question from Pedro Romero.
Yes, well, likewise, commiserations on the loss. Obviously, it's just heartbreaking for you guys to see you guys fall at the very last hurdle, but hopefully you guys can recover for this in due time. Just want to ask this question more so towards like Josh and anyone else can kind of chime in if they want. I mean, we've seen this team just kind of go through plenty of highs and lows in years past, and including today, having to absorb this result. What I'm trying to ask you guys though is that how you kind of look back on the journey of this tournament, and seeing all of the challenges and all of the everything else of it, like how would you guys try to move on from this? And of course, I do say this with the understanding that this is literally coming off of the end of the match. So are you guys kind of bounce back from this and carry this forward with you to stage one?
I mean, we always bounce back. I mean, that's the team. That's the team identity. We're resilient. We embody like a fighter's mentality. And like Jake said, life isn't without losses, and especially as a competitor, all these games, all these tournaments, there's only one winner, right? And like this program was built on just making sure we're always building up to something, no matter what the goal is. And like the goal is, like we can always move the goalposts, and like we're gonna keep trying to win every game, obviously. And but like there's steps to this sometimes, I mean, like we were losing regional finals twice, and we won one. We just got to an international final, finally, right? What's gonna happen next, right? I think in this game where there's only 3 tournaments per year with high variance, there's so much to go on. We're incredibly like consistent, and that should, I mean, like we should be pretty optimistic about this, right? So yeah, of course we're gonna bounce back. We're gonna work even harder. We're gonna take in this loss, let it motivate us, and put the rest of the league on notice. We'll be back.
G2, thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us tonight.
Thank you.
Well, I will say
Recording
that
stopped.
I will say that due to how tough this result was for G2, I feel that the guy in charge of managing the press conference felt like it was better to just kind of cut it short. And unfortunate that it kind of had to come to this, but it is the case. I mean, this kind of thing has happened before, immediately after um a given team's press conference after they lose like an elimination match. So, I mean, and also I just want to chime in with this regarding like that kind of thing. I know that like plenty of people have been kind of saying like, oh, these why would teams even be able to do this kind of stuff immediately after losing? But it's kind of the name of the game when you're a professional competitor. You try to do everything that you can to compete while also trying to obligate or fulfill with like media obligations.
Sorry about that.
And just having to like try to do well on the competitive front while also trying to balance that with what you say to the media, and also when it comes to talking to the media you can like kind of like build a narrative and also like generate interest into like a given match or upcoming match and stuff like that. I mean, it's always fun for a team to do these kinds of stuff after they win because of course they'll be like very jovial, very happy, very light-hearted, and very chill. But I mean, the same kind of thing, the same kind of thing, uh, the same kind of significance or more so obligation has to be done for the losing team. And of course, seeing a player just be so broken is pretty heartbroken for the fans and probably for some of the media people as well. But I mean, it's the result of competing of competition and just having to try so hard to win. And I mean, sure, like for some, they might not like to see that kind of stuff, but for other people, they do appreciate that these players will be so down to show themselves being in a vulnerable state just to give a sense of how much this means to them and the teams that they're participating for. And so yeah, I kind of been rambling for a good while, but I just wanted to say my piece about that. Apologies if this was kind of confusing for you guys to kind of digest because I do tend to ramble. But yeah, just wanted to ask or talk about that. So in any case, I'll stop talking and we'll be waiting for T1 to arrive very shortly. For exactly how long, I'm not sure. Maybe a few more minutes. And yeah, keep you guys posted. Hello, hello. I just want to ask, for those of you who are in the live stream, can you see the stream very like clearly? Were you able to also hear about, or were you also able to listen to all of the audio cleanly? No, has there been no issue within both sides? No, I do not want to install the newest Windows update. Sorry about that, guys. Stop, just trying to screw me.
We are probably about 5 to 10 minutes away from the T1 interview.
All right, thank you very much for the message in the chat. It's good to know that the stream isn't really messed up. All right. So in the meantime, I've already uploaded the press conference for G2. Given that it was short, like very short, I was able to just kind of take advantage of waiting for T1 to arrive to actually upload everything. So, if for those of you guys who haven't watched the G2 press conference when it was going live, you can just click on the link right here that I just put in on the chat, and there you go. It's now live. You guys can just go ahead and watch that while we wait for T1. So, it was 6 minutes long, not that long. So, yeah. Yes, hello. Yeah, Jikaishi. Yeah. I just saw your message right now. I mean, in this case, given that the G2 are coming off of a grand finals loss, where they lost in a map 5 overtime period. I mean, obviously they're devastated. So I guess the admin of the press conferences took that into account, and just having seen them like be so devastated with Valen having his head down onto the table. I mean, I think it was best for him to just kind of cut it short. It reminds me of the one time back in Game Changers Championship last year, in which Mimi of G2 goes in. She was devastated. She was answering a question and she started to like break down and cry. And then after seeing that, they decided to cut the press conference short right then and there. I think it was like around the same length as like the one that just happened just now with G2's press conference. So it goes like day to day or more so event to event when it comes to like take into account like the state of a team and their mindset and what they're feeling and whether or not they're down to be in a press conference for a very long time. I mean, the way they saw it, it was probably best for them to just stop it, after having answered a few questions. And I think like I mean, in the video in the G2 press conference, in the video that I just linked in the chat, it was like only 3 questions asked in its entirety, myself included, and it was all remote. And it just goes to show like how short it was going to be for this one. I thought it was going to be much longer, to be honest, but obviously I understand, given that it is the grand finals and G2 were so close to winning uh the event. They were even on the they were even leading at a good amount of for a good amount of time in the final map. So it just goes to show how things can go haywire so quickly and how that will affect the team's mindset, from the end of the match and then, to the point in which they're beginning to walk off the stage to just begin to absorb the gravity of the moment. And yeah, it's tough, but I understand. And also like I do have to give my props to G2 for even stepping onto the main stage and answer the few questions in the press conference. I mean, I kind of already said it earlier on, but it takes a lot for a team to step onto the stage and just answer questions about what went wrong and what happened, and just kind of reflect on the series immediately after it happens. It happens all the time, and I've seen this happen so many times in traditional sports. So looking at that, it's kind of like no biggie for me, but for esports fans, since like I feel like for them it's like it's a different ball game. It's a different like situation, but in many ways it's practically one and the same. So you gotta deal with the bad moments and the tough moments, and you gotta deal with the great moments. So you just can't have one thing and not the other, right? So yeah. Sorry for the rambling once again. I tend to do that when it comes to answering a question. So yeah, apologies on that. I'll try to be quiet. So far, as for an update, we haven't had any word, but as you guys can see, the admin is organizing the chairs for the incoming T1 players. So I would assume that T1 is going to step on very shortly. So yeah, just a little bit longer. Once again, I just posted the link to the video of the G2 press conference that happened a few moments ago. I will link it again right here onto the main chat. So you guys, for those of you who haven't watched that, you can just click on the link here and watch that. Listen to what the players had to say while you're waiting for T1 to arrive. So there you go. I already did the entire video, all the thumbnail, all of the title, all of that stuff. So yeah. Well, while we're waiting, for those of you who are still tuning into the live stream, what did you guys think of the grand finals? I mean, we saw plenty of twists and turns. We saw 2 overtime maps, and we saw the final map finish out in overtime. I believe it's the first time since, like, I would say, or I think it's the first time in VCT international history in which an international grand final finished in the map 5, but in overtime. I don't think that has happened ever before. You know, looking at Masters and Champions. So I mean, it just goes to show like how crazy this game is. You know, what are your thoughts on that, man? Well, I mean, for those of you who are stepping into to the stream, what are your thoughts on the finals? Is it the greatest finals in VCT history? Yes, X. Hello. Nice to meet you. Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. I mean, like, for me, Chikaishi, I feel it's really up there when it comes to like grand finals in the international stage. I mean, we've seen plenty of memorable matches in such a stage, like over the years. Oh yeah, for sure. I definitely agree on that. That's why, like, you had to look at certain moments of a given series and like use that as like the barometer for measuring like which series is the greatest of all time in VCT history. I mean, one series that comes to mind is Lock-in for 2023 between Fnatic and Loud. I feel like, and probably like many others will agree that Lock-in between Loud and Fnatic, that's probably the best series of all time. But this one, I feel like given the high stakes in overtime, plenty of overtime rounds, and having like seen so many instances in which a certain moment can go either way, and then the team, taking advantage of said moment can use that as the momentum to finish the series. I mean, so many of that happened, especially in map 5. And I mean, even then, like I was like, when I was watching the series, I was like on the edge of my seat just trying to find out who, like, is T1 gonna do it or is G2 actually gonna do it? I mean, this is just crazy. Yeah. Vishroof. Yep. G2 should definitely be proud. I mean, keep in mind this is the same squad that um this is the same squad that was formed at the end of 2021, early 2022 as the Guard, and this is the same team that was able to surprise everybody and qualify for Masters Reykjavik 2022 and then continue that momentum through to this point. I mean, they weren't able to qualify for champions in Istanbul, and they had to fight their way to tier 1 in 2023. It just goes to show how long they have been playing together, especially those three people of Jonah P, Trent, and Valen, just having to like see their cooperation, their cohesion continue to take further shape, continue to get refined in tier 2 and now in tier 1, and having to like go through plenty of like domestic and international international finals losses. It only adds up to the sense of camaraderie, sense of togetherness that they have with each other, and also those with Leaf and Jogimo. I mean, they're just a team that I feel like at this point they would be like on the very top of my list of teams that deserve to get an international victory. You know, these guys that have been such a great quintet of professionals. Like I've been fortunate enough to talk about or to talk to all of these guys in 2024 and 2025, and especially Valen. Like he is just a beast of a leader, a beast of an IGO, a beast of a person. And I got a sense of that like when he was like beginning to do analyst work in like 2023 VCT Americas, and also like a little bit of 2022. I think at the very end of the year there, I think he also like worked as an analyst in Champions in Istanbul for a little bit. I'm not sure, it might be wrong, but it's just incredible just seeing him continue to mature. And also like I don't know if you guys have noticed, but if you look at the very like beginning of my channel, I actually interviewed Valen like right before or right after the announcement was made that he was going to be a part of the Guard as the IGO, as like a 21-year-old or 19-year-old. I mean, because he was so young and he was already going to take like such a very big role, I had to talk to him. And fortunately enough, like I was given the opportunity to talk to him by like the manager. I contacted the manager and like they gave me the
Check.
the
T1
heads up.
is
So yeah.
joining us now.
All right. Thank you so much, admin. All right, I'm gonna shut my mouth now. So
Can you hear us on
T1,
the remote call?
yes, we can.
Thank you.
All right, I'm gonna stay quiet now.
Next is in toilet. He's
아직-
crying.
아직
기다려야
안
되겠다.
들어가요.
오, 뭐야 이거? 오늘 이걸로 다른 데 마신다. 맛있죠, 일로 와. 첫 번째 우등이 다리.
아유.
챔쌈 다리.
큰 거 먹어야지. 큰 거 먹어야지.
여러분, 이거 방송으로 나가고 있어요.
뭐라고 했는데?
아 예?
아무 말 안 했어.
안 말했어?
큰거 먹어.
뭐가?
Good evening, everybody. We are joined by T1, who are coming off of their match in the grand final, which they won. We'll begin with questions from the remote media and then move to the in-house. Brandon, would you like the first question?
Yes, thank you very much. This is Brandon with esports.gg. Likewise, congratulations on the victory. I will ask this to Stacks. Kind of getting late there in Abyss and in the overtime rounds, we saw some kind of visible frustration from you specifically on the broadcast. So I'd just like to kind of ask your thoughts on how the team was able to bounce back, how you were able to calm down, and you guys showed resilience and won two intense overtime periods back to back. Just kind of tell me what went into keeping yourself calm to overcome those frustrations?
일단 저희가 저번에 EDG랑 첫 경기 했을 때 마지막에 펄에서 공격에서 졌잖아요. 근데 그거를 조금 가지고 영감을 많이 받아서 저희가
Recording in progress.
오늘 펄 공격 G2 상대로 많이 고전하고 있을 때 제가 팀원들한테 뭔가 내가 마음에 안 들면은 이거 너희들이 얘기해주면은 내가 그걸로 통해서 어떻게든 해보겠다라고 콜을 했는데 영철이나 이제 우리 팀원들이 이제 저한테 이제 이걸로 해보자라고 해서 거기서 조금 더 영감을 받아서 그냥 밀고 자신감 있게 갔던 것 같아요.
Well, actually, I was able to take away a lot from our EDG series. Facing them on Pearl, we lost on our attack, and that's where we talked about and had our feedbacks on. And it actually inspired me to really think about how we could win this map. So when it came to today, facing G2 on Pearl in attack, and we were struggling, I told my teammates, hey, if you don't like my calls, if you don't like what I'm doing, just tell me. And you guys chip in and tell me how to make things better. And I will use that info and intel to come up with something new that would work for us. And everyone, including Buzz, was chipping in, giving me good calls and suggesting some ideas on how we can push through. So we had a lot of confidence and we just pushed into the side.
Thank you. We'll take the next question from William Cho.
Thank you. I have a question for Coach Autumn. So I want to ask, you've obviously been part of the Valorant scene for a long time and other games before that, but I'm sure you know better than anybody else that there's always been kind of this let's say asterisk that always followed you around on whether you could actually make a champion winning team. There's been a lot of doubts from different fans and different groups. And now you've finally been able to do it with perhaps maybe a very different background than what a lot of people expected to be, the best for coaching Valorant, especially in Korea. So I just want to ask Coach Autumn, what do you think it is that you have specifically that has allowed you to build this team and lead them to a trophy?
네.
일단은 작년에 아무래도 T1이 성적이 안 좋다 보니까 당연히 감독으로서 제가 책임을 다 졌기 때문에 그런 반응이 나왔던 건 다 이해하고 있고요. 하지만 저는 항상 제 자신에 대해서 믿음을 잃지 않기 때문에 항상 언젠가는 성적을 낼 수 있을 거라고 꾸준히 믿고 있었고, 감사하게도 팀에서도 믿어주어서 한 번 더 저한테 기회를 주셨고, 이렇게 좋은 선수들도 영입해 주시고, 그리고 무엇보다 이 선수들이 저를 사실 이 타 팀에서 다 온 선수들이 다 이제 대단하신 감독 코치님들이랑 일하다 온 친구들인데도 저한테 믿음을 잃지 않고 잘 따라 주었기 때문에 제가 이렇게 원했던 팀 색깔이 이렇게까지 잘 드러나게 돼서 이런 좋은 결과를 만들어낸 것 같습니다.
Autumn's answer to William's question was, well, last year T1 didn't have the greatest year, and I, as a coach, took all the responsibility for that, and I think it was my job to actually take the blame for it. So I do understand all the doubts, but I never lost faith in myself, and I just thought, hey, if I keep trying, one day my day will come. And the T1 as an org, they had faith in me. They gave me another opportunity coming into this year. They allowed me to gather a really good player, finish this strong roster. And I am grateful for my players because they're from other teams, and they've worked with amazing coaches in Valorant before coming into T1, but they also listened to me very well and they followed my lead and they had that trust in me. So I was able to bring out the type of style and the type of, identity that I wanted to build for T1. And I think that's what allowed us to win.
Thank you. We'll take the next question from Ravish.
Hi, everyone. So my question goes over to Buzz real quick. So Buzz, congrats again on the win, man. I wanted to ask, you've been around the scene for a very, very long time, since all the way back in the days of Vision Strikers. If you could look back and talk to yourself from way back 10 years ago, what would you tell the young kid about where you stand here today?
통역.
아, 정말 오랜 시간 동안 비전 시절부터 발로란트를 하고 있는데 지금 이 우승컵을 들어올린 버즈가 그때 이제 막 발로란트 프로 생활을 시작한 버즈에게 얘기를 해줄 수 있다면 어떤 얘기를 해줄 것 같나요?
어, 그냥 뭐 그때부터 지금까지 힘든 일이 되게 많았었는데 그냥 일단 앞만 보고 쭉 직진하다 보면은 빛을 보는 날이 꼭 올 거니까 좌절하지 않고 계속 나아갔으면 좋겠다라고 말할 것 같아요.
Well, yeah, I had a lot of ups and downs, a lot of tough times. Um, but I would tell myself, just keep pushing, and there's always the light at the end of the tunnel. So pick yourself up when you fall, and you just keep going forward, and you'll get there.
Thank you.
Thank you. We'll take the next question from Alejandro.
Yeah. First of all, congratulations on the win, becoming the Masters champion. And my question is for, it's just for Stacks and Buzz. Both of you were in the original roster of Vision Strikers that then become the DRX. Now, what would you say to your teammates were also with you in those times where you were Vision Strikers and now both of you won the Masters? So anything that you want to say to RV, Mako, to those teammates?
Are you joking? 일단 뭐 마코 명간이가 걔가 경기 시작 전에 카톡이 왔었는데 이렇게 말을 했거든요. 형 우승하면은 나도 팀원이었으니까 나도 칭호 주는 거지라고 말을 했거든요. 네, 그거 말고는 일단 생각이 나는 게 없네요. 그리고 무슨 질문인지 잘 모르겠습니다.
Yeah, Marco texted me before the match and he said, "Hey, I'm your former teammate. So if you win, I still get the champion title in game, right? In the server. But other than that, I don't know what to say."
Thank you. We'll take the next question from Pedro Romero. Yes.
All right. Likewise, congrats to every one of you guys in T1 for winning Masters Bangkok, a culmination of a long journey that ends with success. I'm gonna send this question now to Meteor. I mean, on top of just seeing T1 make history and win their first international VCT title today, you also made plenty of history in your own right. Not only did you win with T1, you also became the 8th person in history to win multiple international titles. You become the second person ever to win a Masters trophy with multiple orgs. And also you become the first player from Pacific to win multiple international titles. So what I want to ask you, Meteor, is like, how do you feel about that? You know, how do you feel about the progression that you've had, not just focusing on this year, but more so just last year, and then transitioning from Gen G to T1, and also like how have you been able to maintain your top form from now or from then up until now?
메테오 선수 오늘 참 많은 기록을 개인적으로 세우기도 했는데 최초로 또 2연속 마스터즈 우승을 하게 됐고 그리고 다른 팀, 그러니까 서로 다른 팀에서 두 번 마스터즈 트로피를 들어올리는 선수가 지금 발로란트에 메테오 선수 포함해서 2명밖에 없고요. 그리고 퍼시픽 선수로서도 또 2연속 그리고 2번 마스터즈 트로피를 들어올린 선수가 메테오 선수가 유일한데 이런 본인의 성장과 성과에 대해서 어떻게 생각하는지 그리고 작년부터 어떻게 폼을 꾸준하게 유지하는지 궁금하다고 합니다.
일단 뭐 발로란트 역사 안에 제가 포함되어 있고 지금 저와 제 옆에 있는 선수들이 같이 이뤄낸 거라 좀 뿌듯하기도 하고 기쁘고요. 그리고 팀을 옮겨서 또 우승하게 되었는데 앞으로 자만하지 않고 열심히 할 계기가 되지 않나 생각합니다.
It definitely feels great to be part of the history, and it means a lot because I was able to do this with my teammates sitting next to me right now. And being able to do this on a new team, I think it will allow me to stay humble and just keep trying my best.
Thank you. We'll start taking questions from the in-house media.
Hi everyone, congratulations on the win. Meteor, I want to ask you, coming into the tournament, did you expect to be the MVP of the event?
MVP 될 거라고 기대나 예상을 하셨나요?
네, 생각은 못 하고 있었는데 저라고 해서 기분 좋았습니다.
No, not really, but when they call my name, so happy.
I voted for you. Also, Meteor Stacks, coming to you guys. Last time we met in Champions 2022 Istanbul, you guys finished third, and the journey has been pretty difficult for you guys. I mean, what is the feeling right now, and how much did you wait for this moment? Because, I mean, it's been years.
일단 조금 마스터즈 우승이라는 시기가 조금 많이 늦게 왔던 것 같고요. 근데 저는 저희 팀원들의 전력이나 저희가 하고 있는 것을 보았을 때는 마스터즈가 아닌 챔스 정도로 저희가 전력 좀 저는 높게 보고 있기 때문에 조금 더 고점 높게 보고 있는 것 같아요, 지금보다.
Yeah, I think it definitely took longer than I expected to be the champion. But judging from how well we can perform, looking at our full potential and how we've been performing, what this roster can do, my expectations are high. We're looking at winning champions.
Perfect. Buzz?
We have to move on to the next
Okay,
person.
okay, cool.
Go ahead, Arnab.
Okay. Hey guys, likewise, congrats on the win. Congrats on the Masters title. My question is for Coach Autumn. Yesterday I asked you about Abyss. You said you won't lose against Chamber, but it didn't happen. But it was a close map as well. Looking at the overall 5 series, it was close for both the teams. Both the teams came back. What do you think your team did different than G2 to secure the win and win the Masters trophy?
어떤 감독님께 드리는 질문인데요. 어제 어비스에 대해서 물어봤을 때 아무래도 G2의 체인버에게 질리지 않을까라고 얘기를 해주셨는데 결과는 그랬지만 그래도 오늘 5개의 밴 모두 호각을 잃었던 것 같고 굉장히 팽팽했던 것 같습니다. 결국에 오늘 G2보다 잘했던 점은 무엇인지 그리고 어디서 승패가 갈렸다고 생각하시는지 궁금하네요.
진짜 G2 선수들과 진짜 누가 우승하더라도 이상하지 않을 정도의 호각인 경기라 저도 생각을 하고 결국 제가 이번 대회를 치르면서 느낀 거는 항상 선수들한테 이제 그 간절함에 대해서 많이 얘기를 하는데 그 간절함이 결국 이런 결과를 만드는다 생각하고 물론 G2 선수도 엄청 간절했겠지만 결국 간절함의 크기가 저희가 더 컸다 생각합니다.
Well, yeah, today was definitely neck and neck, very tight, and it could have gone either way, and no one would say anything about it because we won, but they were really strong as well. But it just goes back to what I would emphasize to the players. I mean, and I'm pretty sure that everyone kind of resonated with what I said when I said, if you want to win, you really have to want it. And I'm pretty sure that G2 boys really wanted it too. But at the end of the day, I think we wanted it more. And that was the difference maker.
Thank you. We'll have to move on to the next person. Go ahead.
Good evening. My name is Brian Francis from esports.net. Firstly, congratulations on the win and making half of us feel very anxious in overtime. My question is I would actually ask this to Meteor because you have right now been a part of 3 grand finals of international events. For both the teams in Pacific that have won a Masters, you were a part of it. I just want to know right now, in the past, Pacific was looks as the region where, hey, you'll have not won an international tournament for a very long time. And now you have been a part of 2 rosters that have done it. Do you feel like the difference in what teams were back in 2022 to like 2025 in Pacific, like what has been the major change that you have seen that has helped you grow to be a better player and win like international trophies?
메테오 선수에게 드리는 질문인데요. 현재 3연속 국제대회 결승에 오르고 있는데 마스터즈. 그 모든 팀에는 메테오 선수가 있었습니다. 예전에는 사람들이 퍼시픽 지역을 보면 트로피 없는 지역이라고 했는데 이제 메테오 선수와 그 팀원들이 그런 편견을 다 깨부수고 있거든요. 2022년 약간 퍼시픽 지역에게 뭐 경쟁력이 없다는 소리를 많이 들을 때에 비해서 2024년과 2025년 어떤 부분이 많이 바뀌었길래 메테오 선수도 이렇게 선수로서 성장하고 그리고 퍼시픽 지역도 경쟁력을 더 뽐낼 수 있는지 궁금하네요.
사실 뭐랄까 좀 한국은 게임을 할 때 좀 어릴 때부터 게임을 시작한단 말이죠. 근데 이제 예전에는 저희 세대에서는 리그 오브 레전드가 유행해서 저희가 FPS가 약했던 거지. 저희가 점점 발로란트라는 게임을 어렸을 때부터 시작한 사람들이 앞으로도 쭉 계속 나올 텐데 저는 이제 그때쯤이면 아마 앞으로 FPS 발로란트도 한국이 계속 먹지 않을까 생각하고 있는 사람 중 한 명이라서 뭐 그냥 뭐가 다른지는 잘 모르겠는데 그냥 과소평가 안 해줬으면 좋겠습니다.
When it comes to Korea and Koreans, we start playing games from a very young age, from early on. And in our generation, League of Legends was the dominant game. And because a lot of people played League of Legends, we didn't have much talent in the talent pool when it comes to the first person shooting game. But we have a lot of younger users in the game playing Valorant. So I feel like the talent pool is going to get only wider and deeper. So I just feel like Korea has a very bright future ahead of us when it comes to Valorant and also other FPS games. But I'm not really sure. I can't exactly pinpoint what the difference is between 2022 and 2024 to 2025. But I just don't want people underestimating us.
Thank you. We'll take the next question from Timasura.
Hi, Timo Stira from VLR here. This question is either for Stacks or Buzz. You both either can answer this. This trophy has been a long time coming for the both of you, since Vision Strikers all the way in 2021. We saw how both of you hugged each other after the win, how emotional it was. Right now, what do you feel? What do you feel right now? Like, is it a deep sense of accomplishment, or is it something else that you've been holding on for a long time?
감사합니다. 일단 경기가 끝나기 전에 사실 정철이가 조금 쓰러져 있는 걸 보고 있었거든요. 근데 제발 울어라, 제발 울어라 이러고 있었는데 안 울어가지고 참 아쉬워서 그냥 갖다 박치기 했고요. 일단은 그거 말고 지금은 사실 제가 결승하기 전날에 이거 우리가 무조건 우승한다라는 마인드를 가지고 있었어가지고 그 마인드를 이미 실현을 했기 때문에 별로 큰 감흥 솔직히 잘 없는 것 같고요. 더 높은 곳을 바라보고 있는 것 같아요, 아직.
버드 선수는요?
질문이 뭐였죠?
부둥켜 껴안고 축하하는 모습을 보여줬는데 지금 기분이 어떤가요? 뭐 성취감 아니면 오랫동안 뭔가 담아두던 응어리가 풀린 느낌?
일단은 태경이랑 제일 오래 하기도 했었고 그래서 뭔가 좀 더 특별했던 것 같고요. 그래서 기분이 굉장히 좋았었고 근데 마스터즈 우승해서 기분이 굉장히 좋지만 아직 챔피언스라는 숙제가 남아있는 느낌이기 때문에 챔피언스를 우승해야 될 것 같다고 생각합니다.
Well, right before the game ended, I saw, well, Stax's answer. I saw Buzz kind of almost losing it, being too exhausted. And I was wishing, oh my God, please cry, please cry, please cry, Buzz. But he didn't. So I just went and hugged him. And I don't know, right now, I always, even yesterday before coming into today's grand finals, I knew that we had what it takes. So for now, it's just, oh, that happened. We won, of course. But now I'm just looking at that Champions Trophy in Paris, And Buzz's answer was, yeah, it was definitely a special moment. And being able to do this with Stacks, because we've been playing together for so long, it really adds to how special this moment is. But we still have that Champions Trophy on our to-do list. So until we check that off, we just got to keep going.
감사합니다. T1 화이팅.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, guys. Congrats with the win. Solara from Viola.gg. I appreciate your very professional approach, but it would be great to see your smiles and how you're happy to win the Masters Trophy as well. So I have a very simple question. How are you gonna celebrate tonight?
Drink all day long with my teammates.
내일
Before
비행기 몇
we
시에?
flight. We flight 9 p.m. Don't worry.
Great. I hope you will celebrate well.
Thank you.
Good luck in the future. Thank you.
Good luck tomorrow, guys. Good luck tomorrow, guys. Stay alive, okay? Don't die.
Hey guys, once again, Anavia. This time my question is for Sylvian. As I mentioned yesterday, rookie year, rookie grand finals, and rookie tournament, and you are the first, you are a rookie who won the Masters Trophy as well. I want to know from your perspective how how are you feeling right now, and what was the emotions when you guys lifted the trophy? Thank you.
세반 선수에게 드리는 질문인데요. 첫 번째 국제대회에서 우승까지 이뤄냈습니다. 감회가 남다를 것 같은데, 딱 우승이 확정된 순간에 어떤 기분이었는지, 그리고 지금은 좀 어떤 기분인지 궁금하네요.
일단 막 우승했을 때는 진짜 막 도파민이 너무 터졌었고 지금은 좀 괜찮아지긴 했는데 일단은 첫 국제대회에서 첫 트로피를 들으니까 일단 거기에 너무 기분이 좋은 것 같습니다.
Yeah, when we lifted that trophy, it was just so much dopamine coming out of me, and it was just rush of dopamine. But right now, it's settled in. It's kind of soaked in, but it's just the fact that it was my first go at these global events, and I was able to achieve so much. That really, truly makes me happy.
Just a quick follow-up on that. Now Masters Trophy is done. What's the plan for T1?
Sorry.
이제 다음은 뭐예요? 다음 목표?
Big one.
Uh,
More big one.
챔피언스 당연히 우승.
Just need to chill, and then we prepare for the stage 2, and then we qualify for the Toronto, and then champions as well, and kill them all.
I love that.
Yeah.
Thank you guys, and love the t-shirts of the champions, and best of luck.
Thank you so much.
I am back. Izu, you have not answered any question till now, so I'm going to ask you one question because I want to know your opinions also about this day. For you, as you have seen like your teammates change, and now you've got the likes of like veterans in the name of Stacks, Buzz, Meteor around you. Like they are like you all have stated in answers before, like y'all are like a brotherhood, they're like a family together who have been there. I saw you like when you were on stage, you stood up, you just looked at the atmosphere, you felt it all in. And I was just hoping, like, I want to know one thing at that moment for you, how did it feel? Because everybody knows about you, like you growing up and your journey in Valorant as well. So for you, when you saw like all the T1 fans shouting your name and cheering for y'all, how did it make you feel?
이주 선수에게 드리는 질문인데요. 뭐 친형 같은 분위기, 가족 같은 분위기도 많이 보여주는 것 같은데 오늘 특히나 그 무대 위에서 혼자서 좀 약간 서서 아래를 내려다보면서 분위기를 만끽하는 그런 모습이 카메라에 잡혔는데 사실 모두가 이주 선수의 성장을 지켜보고 있었잖아요. 그렇기 때문에 좀 지켜봐주고 응원해주는 팬분들이 그 우승한 순간에 계속해서 응원을 해주는 걸 보고 좀 어떤 마음이 들었는지 궁금하네요.
일단 그 분위기를 만끽한 게 맞고 이제 저희가 이런 국제 대회 결승전이라는 큰 무대에 올 수 있게 됐고 저희가 지든 이기든 저희가 경기장에 다시 올라왔을 때나 아니면은 대회를 하고 있을 때 팬분들이 정말 큰 소리로 응원을 많이 해주셨기 때문에 그 분위기를 되게 즐기려고 많이 노력했고 그 분위기를 즐기고 게임을 같이 저희 든든한 저희 형들과 같이 즐긴 결과 이렇게 마스터즈 우승이라는 좀 큰 결과를 얻을 수 있지 않나 싶습니다.
Yeah, indeed. I was trying to soak it all in the atmosphere and, making it all the way to the grand finals in a global stage. It just felt like no matter win or lose, map after map, when we got back on the stage, everyone was just cheering for us, supporting us all the way. And I just tried to soak it in, take it in, enjoy it as much as possible. And because I was doing that with my bros, just trying to enjoy the moment with them, I think that really just pushed us and gave us more strength.
Thank you so much. And Izu, one small request. Next time you win a trophy, just do the Sue celebration because then it works out for all of us to make good edits on you. That's why, like the Ronaldo Sue celebration.
Excuse what?
Like Sue, the Sue.
수 이거 해달래요. 호날두
등장할 때
포즈
뭐
좀.
할래? 등장할 때 뭐 해달라는데?
워크아웃 때 좀
뭐
뭐 좀
해줄래?
해달라고. 포즈.
언제 워크아웃 돼요?
다음 또 할 때.
입장할 때.
입장할 때.
다음에 또 결승 좋으면 할래 말래?
생각해 보도록 하겠습니다.
그래 임마.
I'll think about it.
Thank you. We'll take the next question from William Cho.
Thank you. I want to ask a question to Carpe. So I want to ask Carpe's. I want to hear some thoughts from Carpe as someone who we've heard from the team that he was helping a lot behind the stage, even before kickoff, during kickoff. He's even had to play a lot of the very important matches. And as someone who's been so involved with this team and with these players, I want to know from Carpe's perspective, what does he think was the biggest difference in the build up in this last weekend and the finals weekend for the entire team to be able to lift the trophy together?
선수에게 드리는 질문인데요. 정말 많이 팀원들을 보이는 곳에서 그리고 보이지 않는 곳에서 도움을 줬었고 또 그 T1이 여기까지 오는데 큰 경기, 중요한 경기들 모두 카르페 선수가 하기도 했었는데 좀 지켜보면서 마스터즈 방콕 시작부터 끝까지 어떤 T1의 어떤 부분들이 우승을 가능하게 했다고 생각하는지 카르페 선수의 생각을 들어보고 싶습니다.
제가 생각했을 때는 일단 저희가 첫 패배를 하고 그다음에 로스터가 바뀌고 그리고 DRX를 이긴 다음에 제가 몇 마디 했던 얘기들이 있는데 저희가 좀 뭔가 즐기지 못하는 분위기도 있었고 누군가는 실패할 수 있는 자유가 없었던 그런 분위기를 느꼈어요, 제가. 그래서 그거를 얘기를 한번 했었는데 다행히도 저희 팀 안에서 제 얘기를 잘 들어주고 그거를 아주 짧은 시간 안에 저희가 대회에서 진짜 즐길 수 있고 진짜 뭐 사람들이 흔히 말하는 미움받을 수 있는 용기를 대회 때 5명 모두가 너무나 잘 보여준 탓에 저희가 이겼다고 생각을 하고 네, 그 짧은 시간 안에 그렇게 바뀔 수 있다는 거에 저는 되게 네, 놀랐던 것 같아요.
Carpe's answer was, well, after dropping the first series against the Vitality and we had a slight change to our starting lineup, we beat DRX, but I noticed something and I said a few words to these players. I said, hey, I think the vibe we are having, I feel like we're not enjoying the game fully. And for some of us, it seems like we don't have that freedom to fail. And when I told them that, I think it really resonated well with them. And in a short period of time, they turned things around mentally, especially, and everyone just having that courage to be hated, or more crude way of saying it would be like the balls to be hated. I think that really got us into the right type of mentality. And I think that's what really helped us tonight. And I was really surprised at how quickly we were able to all get into this vibe and all get into this mentality that we needed ourselves to be in.
네, 감사합니다. 다시 한번 진심으로 축하드립니다.
감사합니다.
감사합니다.
Thank you. And given the late hour, we will take the last question from Pedro Romero.
Hello. Can you guys hear me one more time?
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much. I'm gonna send this one over to Autumn for the last question. shortly after the conclusion of the grand finals, you took to Twitter and posted a picture of Kendrick Lamar performing in the halftime show of, like, I believe the big game. I don't know if I can say it because of copyright, but nevertheless, interesting way to talk about that kind of result. What were you implying with that picture there?
일단 그걸 보고 이제 재밌다 하면서 웃으신 분들은 그렇게 그 좋은 감정을 계속 느끼셨으면 좋겠고, 사실 이제 그걸 보고 분명히 와, 얘 뭐냐 이런 사람들이 있었을 텐데 그 사람들을 위한 글이었습니다.
또 뜸신이야? 또 뜸신이야? 또
Hey, for those who got a laugh out of it, yeah, good for you. But I think there were some people that just went, "What the heck is it doing?" And it was for the latter type of people that I posted the Kendrick Lamar meme.
T1, congratulations on your victory, and thank you so much for taking the time to speak
Thank
with us.
you. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Please take your trophy with you.
Recording stopped.
All right, and that wraps up the press conferences for Masters Bangkok. T1 are the grand finals winners. They are the champions of the world for the first stage of the 2025 VCT season. Congrats to them for making it happen. Congrats to everybody else for appearing in the competition. And also, I got to give my congrats, or more so, my thanks to you guys, the viewers, tuning into the live streams for the little opportunities I was able to get it done. Thank you also for also tuning into the recordings of, or slash the videos that I've been posting shortly after said press conferences have finished up. Thank you so much. Really do appreciate you tuning into the usual coverage that I do for each Masters event. Unfortunately, I was not able to do any one-on-one interviews relative to past editions, but I feel this is sufficient to in a sense to do this coverage. Nevertheless, I don't want to take too much more of your time than say thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for tuning in. We got first strike, or I don't know what's the actual name of the competition, but the first international event for League of Legends will be taking place in less than a week from now. So I'm gonna move over to there from now to the end of said event, and then also the start of stage 1. So it's not gonna be the end of me at the very least when it comes to the videos. So look forward to that. If you're a fan of League of Legends, if you're a fan of Valorant and don't know League of Legends, well, tune into that. And yeah, also on top of this, I have more videos in the archives that I want to upload. And so tune into that also. And of course, I'll be continuing my coverage of VCT America's Stage 1 when it does start, and also VCT EME when it does start also. So this has been Pedro Romero covering VCT Masters Bangkok, saying farewell for this event. But I also got to say my thank you to you guys for making it all happen for me. So thank you so much. This has been Pedro Romero, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care, everyone.